Hey. So, problems. Have you ever been stuck on a problem? Have you ever kind of gotten stuck in thinking about a problem, trying to work out how to solve it, but it just goes round and round and round? Or you keep coming up with the same solution and it's not really the solution that's going to be the one. It's not the best solution, you know that, but you can't get beyond it. If you've ever been stuck in that kind of situation, then I think you might find this interesting, because I have practiced with this. I have practiced many times with problems, and changing my way of looking at them recently has been amazing. It really lifts and shifts and transforms. So if that sounds like something that you want to play around with, then listen up, because that's what we're talking about here today. So hi, I am Kylie Ansett. I am the Alignment Whisperer, and I guide seekers of alignment to get in touch with their inner wisdom, that part of them that has all the solutions, that knows the answers, but that we're so often not in touch with because we're busy focusing on problems. We're busy not realizing that the solutions are usually within us. But that's a little bit different from what I'm going to be talking about today. I do truly believe that to find a solution to anything, it is just a matter of tuning in and getting into alignment. But this particular topic, I'm going to be taking it one step further. So I'm coming to you from beautiful Sydney, Australia, and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know, what part of the world are you? I'm always fascinated to know. Are you a fellow Aussie? Are you here in Australia enjoying this incredible spring weather, or are you somewhere else in the world? Are you over on the northern hemisphere where opposite things are happening? So I'm always fascinated to know. So let me know. Just tell me the city or the country you're in. Okay, so let's talk about problems. Let's talk about problems and solutions and what they're all about. So here's the thing. And again, I'll keep coming back to this. It's really funny, but we are trained from such early age that the way that you find a solution is that you get the problem and then you think about it, and then the solution comes from that. Like, it's maths 101, right? This is the first thing that we're taught about when we're in school, right? But unlike maths, where there is a single finite solution to something that is definitive and kind of has its, there's a full stop there, when it comes to life, there's never just one solution. There's never just one definitive answer. And when we think that there is, what happens is something interesting in our brains. We actually close down our ability to think big. We think that there is one answer, one solution, one, like this is the perfect thing, put a bow on it, and that's the answer to whatever situation we're coming across. Now, this could be a situation that might be a relationship situation, or it might be a financial situation, or it might be an environmental situation, or it might be a health situation. Like, it could be anything. But if we go about things thinking that there is one single definitive answer, what happens is that we have a reductionist way of viewing life, of looking at the world. We're looking at the world through like a very narrow kind of tunnel, because what we're looking for is one like very specific thing, and we don't know what that specific thing is. Like, right, okay, so here's the thing. You're in a position where you've got a problem. You don't know what the solution is, but you know there is a solution. So what we keep doing, because I'm very much guilty of this too, and it's just such a refreshing reminder to switch this, because this is just a tiny step to the side. It's not a huge 180 degree transformation of the way we think. It's just a slight shift. So when we're focusing on the problem and we're looking straight ahead at that thing, that's perhaps not going right, what happens is that we so we're looking at the thing that's not going right. We're thinking that there is just a single solution, and so our vision is tiny. It's like laser focused, and so we're thinking that there is some perfect solution that we need to find. And so with a laser focus, we are looking for that, and we do it by focusing on, in fact, the problem. So this has gone wrong, this is not what's right, this, and by doing that and thinking that there is a single definitive answer, what we do is we close down the opportunities for finding something beyond that, for actually finding any other answer or multiple answers. So this is how we do the shift. It's really simple. Instead of thinking that there is a single solution to the problem, we think that there could be multiple solutions. There could be infinite solutions. In fact, there are potentially so many solutions that it really, is quite mind-blowing to think of the potential amount of solutions that are there. Now, we may not have our grasp on one immediately, but just by acknowledging that there's not a single solution to a life problem, we widen our scope. Instead of having that very narrow perspective, we're now widening. Now, the other thing is, when you think like that, it kind of forces you to stop thinking about the problem, because when you open up and expand your area of focus, you can no longer be focusing on the problem. You're actually looking outward, thinking with sort of curiosity and interest, like, well, if there are like an infinite number of potential solutions to this problem, then I wonder what they might be. I wonder if I'm stumbling across one as I walk up the street. I wonder if there might be one right under my nose. And that changes the way we look at things. It completely shifts our focus from being narrow to wide, and it changes our focus from being on the problem to on the solution. Because here's the thing. If you are focusing on the problem, you will not find a solution. The two have disparate, separate vibrations. So the vibration of the problem is one way, and if you are focusing on that, your energy is going to be vibrating and attuned to and like matching that. You're going to be matching that energetic vibration by focusing on that. Now, that is not the same energetic vibration as what the solution or the potential multitude of solutions are. They have a different vibrational, energetic vibration. It's completely different. It's potentially the polar opposite to the problem energy. So when you are focusing on one, you're going to be vibrating, and that energy is what's going to be flowing through you. So it's actually impossible to match yourself up with the energy of what the solution is, because it's just in a different place. It's like oil and water. It's like these two are not going to come together. They're just going to repel like magnets, like magnet repelling. And even when a solution may be right underneath your nose, because you're vibrating with the energy of problem, that solution just doesn't, you can't see it. It just gets repelled from you, gets pushed out of your scope of perception. You're unable to see it. And it's a really fascinating thing. I mean, if you are able to step back from your own life, you'll probably recognize there are times when that happened. Or here's another thing. So a classic example of this from the science world is, they call it the eureka moment. So someone might be studying a particular problem. The eureka moment comes from, I can't remember what scientist it was, but anyway, he had been studying a particular, trying to find a solution to this problem for a long time. And then what he did is he went and took a bath and I guess relaxed and focused not at all on that problem, even though he'd laid down the groundwork. He obviously had a lot of information to kind of back him up and to draw from. But it was when he stopped focusing on the problem and went and had a bath, and they call it the eureka moment. It's like you go, whoa, okay, bang. It seems like out of nowhere, the eureka moment, the solution comes out of nowhere. And really what it just means is that you stopped focusing on the problem. You went and had a bath. You went and had a walk. You went and looked at a sunset. You went and meditated. You went and had a nap. You stopped thinking about the problem because the problem was shutting it down. It was closing down all the possibilities that are there. The bath was like just enjoying life and opened it up. So this is kind of like the classic scientific way of how people experience that. And the way that science says is it just comes out of the blue, but actually it comes because we're vibrating with a different energy, and energetically we become a match to the solution when we stop focusing on the problem. So how does that transpose to our day-to-day life? Well, you know, in any given day, we're going to come across problems, some big, some small, some new, some old, some very familiar and that we're very bored with, and that we just keep repeating because, hello, that's called life, right? So we focus on these things and we keep getting the same non-solution, or like, well, what's the answer to this problem? Here's my problem. Like if you've ever had a chat with someone with a problem, all they want to talk about is the problem. And of course, they're looking for a solution, but they're so focused on the problem. It's almost impossible for the two to match. So I encourage you to do what I've started doing, and believe me, I don't do it probably more often than I do it, but the more I remind myself, the more I catch myself mid-problem thinking and kind of step back and go, okay, what if there were lots of solutions? So this is the thing to do when you're in the midst of thinking about, you know, a problem. Step back and say that to yourself. What if there were lots of solutions? What if there are so many solutions to this problem that it's just amazing? What if someone just living next door has a solution? What if the solution is there right under my nose? Like, just what if? Like, just let's get curious. Let's just see what that feels like. So it is all about having that vibrational energy of curiosity and focusing on the possibility. Because here's the thing that I think throws us a little bit. When we are focused on, when we think that we need to have a definitive solution. And so we think that we're looking for something definitive. And that in and of itself, and that form of thinking is very reductionist. It closes down the possibilities rather than opening it up. So originally the universities of the world were meant to open up minds. They were there to invoke curiosity, not to have definitive answers, but to just actually have more questions. Now, if you're happy to be in that place and sit in that energy of being now, of course, you know, like in the coaching world, we call it solution focused, right? We talk about being focused on the solution, but what I'm saying is the vibrational match is not actually there. If you are focusing on the problem, you're not going to be a vibrational match for the solution. So just by stepping back and opening yourself to the possibility that there are potentially many solutions to any single problem, that single act will shift the way that your brain chemistry works. It will shift the way that you are relating to this problem, and the solution will potentially, surprisingly, come from left of field. There may be a eureka moment that happens. It may be something that you thought, why didn't I think of that before? Well, we've all had that experience, right? Why didn't I think of that before? That's crazy. Or potentially it will be something that you never would have thought of. But just by having that different vibrational energy and focusing on the solution, even if you don't know what the solution is. So you have to be okay with uncertainty, because if you can't focus on something, you don't know what it is. And that's kind of what I'm asking you to do. So I'm asking you to be in that state of openness, that state of curiosity, that state of wondering, that state of, okay, I don't know what the answer is, and that's okay. But I'm just going to keep focusing on what the answer might be, what it potentially could be. Now, I know this is a challenge. Like, I know it's not a habitual way of thinking. I know it takes a little bit of, what can we say, a little bit of practice to start thinking like this. But let me tell you, every time I have done this, first of all, it feels so much better. That is a 100%. It definitely feels better. So I'm already like, give it a tick for that. But secondly, it does bring incredible solutions across my path, ones that I wouldn't necessarily have found. And like, that has not happened every time, but it's happened quite a few times. So I'm going to invite you to do the same. I'm going to invite you to have a go and see if focusing on a solution that you don't know what it is, which in and of itself means the word focus is probably not the best word to use. Allowing a solution rather than focusing on a problem. There you go. That was the perfect way to put it. You see, it took me all the way to this point of my video to get to that. Allowing for a solution rather than focusing on a problem. Thank you so much for playing with me in the alignment sandbox. And my message and greatest desire for you is for you to know that the power is within you. Bye.